us today. Okay, so 12-ounce cups you're available here.
We're doing 12-ounce cups for $5 for people to just walk around with right now. We do 32-ounce flip tops, which are refillable, for $10, and then $5 for the glass, so $15 total. And then these are $20 total for a 64-ounce growler. We do around a quarter of our sales on tap, which makes our product way more sustainable. You're not using any single-use packaging. You just bring your jar back to the store over and over again to refill. We don't have a lot of draft accounts up in the Mid-Atlantic area yet, but we're talking to moms about bringing us in on tap. And eventually we plan on being in tap at a lot of places, like Busboys and Poets and other cool spots like we mentioned.
So you're pushing the DC area right now, yeah?
We're based in Asheville, and so we grew out of the Southeast. We're really strong in like North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Mid-Atlantic we just started coming into a few months ago. So as a small independent company, we don't have a huge marketing or advertising budget. Our marketing is events like this. We show up, we meet our people one at a time. It's a slower way to grow, but it's a way more satisfying way to grow, because then you actually have friendships and relationships, and the people who know your product know us too. So when people buy us in the store, they actually know the people who make it, which I think is some of the real beauty of a local food system, is that taking away all the space between the producers of food and the people who consume food, and building some of that community resilience again.
Okay, now I just want to ask you about the logo.
For sure, yeah.
And the type style and what that image means.
So for us, we tried to do everything about our brand differently as a reflection of who we are as the people who make it. And we tried to do, if you want to pan across the flavors over here, for our first 4 flavors, we did the 4 elements of nature: earth, air, fire, and water. And it gave us a really fun challenge to creatively try to capture the kombucha into those containers. So, for example, fire has cold pressed ginger, cayenne, and beet juice. When you think about fire, when you see the drink, it's actually hot pink, it's spicy, it's warming, and then beyond that, the medicinals that we put in there, the cayenne and the beet juice and the ginger, they work together in your body to increase blood flow, to open up the pathways of energy and embolden the immune system. So it totally intuitively, like our whole catch line is, hey Bert, turn around for a sec. Embody the elements.
I love the type style on that too.
And then like
Buchi
Earth, for example, is like an old-fashioned root beer. It's got roasted roots, burdock, chicory, dandelion root. If any of you all used to like make homemade sassafras tea by digging up roots in the yard, back before root beer was just another kind of soda, that was kind of the inspiration. It's got holy basil and rhodiola, sarsaparilla, maple syrup, cinnamon, clove. It's like this thick, rooty, earthy blend. And the 2 herbs in there, holy basil and rhodiola, are both anti-stress, grounding, centering herbs, which is of course what you think about when you think about trying to embody the element of earth. So that was the 4 elements that we did, and that's what you're looking at on my shirt. That's the Buchi fire orb. And we designed all that stuff in-house. We tried to make it really beautiful. You know, when you have a brand that you are really passionate about, it can be an expression of your art as well. Like, this is totally a work of art for us to create something that's really beautiful and really exemplary. And
so are those necklaces available?
I'll totally make a plug for these guys. This is an awesome company based in California called Third Eye Pine Cones. They're made out of pine cones. It's from the densest pine cone in the world. They take the center cut, and it shows all the sacred geometry that's hidden inside the pine cone, the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratios, and then they inlay all kinds of different stones on the top. This one's a boulder opal. But yeah, Third Eye Pine Cones, an awesome company, and every time you buy one, they plant 2 trees.
That's great. You guys really have thought this out. I mean, I'm just impressed with not only the taste of the samples, but obviously the look, the branding, the distribution methods. It's all innovative, and you might end up growing even a little faster than you suspect.
We actually, right now, most of the Whole Foods in the country are on a waiting list for us, but we've really decided to focus in here on the East Coast. We don't have any desire to be a nationwide brand. We think food should be regionally produced whenever possible, and so we've really decided to focus like New York down to Florida, out to like Ohio, the Southeast, the Mid-Atlantic, kind of going out into the Midwest a little bit, but really like staying pretty focused on our core within around 600-700 miles from home to be our target zone that we're trying to move.
Okay, well, Sweet Green, I'm sure you've heard of them. They might be interested.
Hey, Sweet Green, if you're watching,
Jonathan Niemer, I got a recommendation for you. Come, let these guys come talk to you, right? Mike?
Thank you very much, yeah.
Mike, you're a great spokesperson. Appreciate your help. I see lots of folks enjoying this today. And it looks like you got the capacity within this van to dispense quite a bit of product. So
totally, yeah. We have we have 8 different flavors on tap, and we can hold 7 or 8 kegs of each flavor in the back. So we can really show up to even a huge event like Bonnaroo and have product to make us through the weekend. Plus, it's built-in refrigeration in the back, so that makes it a lot easier too.
There you go. You got what you need right now.
We do, totally.
You even got a little canopy.
Oh yeah,
that's working
just
for you.
To distill it down, really, because we talked about a lot of things, but I think if you were to ask me, which you didn't, but if to put the words in your mouth, if you were to ask me what the beating heart of our company is and why we've put so much energy into making something like this, at the end of the day, we really want to figure out how to tease apart capitalism and commerce. Because capitalism has come to mean something extractive and something divisive, something which disempowers people, which concentrates wealth with only a very small percentage of the population and leaves the rest of us fighting for scraps. Commerce, on the other hand, is something that's as old as humans. It means that we come together in community, we empower each other, we grow as individuals, and we create something of value that our community can share with other communities. And then because of that, we're rewarded by that reciprocity. That's a sacred exchange, and we call that sacred commerce. It's a totally different thing based on very different values than capitalism. And part of the way we embody those values, we call it triple bottom line economics. It's not our term, but it's
I've heard that before, yes.
It means that you don't just worry about profit, although that is important. You can't keep the lights on and pay your awesome employees if you don't have a profit. But equally, you have to worry about your community and the planet. It's not even a choice. It's like, we would never even consider having styrofoam cups, even though they're cheaper, because that's horrible for the community, it's horrible for the environment. Like, it's just not, it's not cool anymore. So at the end of the day, it's not just about our business, it's about every business realizing that they have a huge responsibility, not just a fiduciary responsibility to generate profit, but to leave this planet as a good place for the next 7 generations to come. That's really important, and it's something worth getting worked up about.
Well, that's quite a business plan. 7 generations deep.
Yeah.
You're thinking in advance, you're thinking about your kids and their kids and so on.
We have to, because that's how the human legacy continues. That's how we've made it to this part. We're one link in a very long chain, and when we forget that, we start leaving damage, and we start leaving a really horrible legacy. Start looking more like a blight on this planet than like the blessing that I think we can be. So
congratulations. It almost sounds spiritual.
Well, it is. It's the integration, business and spiritual growth. Like, all that ties together. There's no reason that those two things need to be different.
Mike, you've been a great host. I really appreciate the taste today, and I have a feeling that Sweet Green's going to be hearing from you.
I hope so.
Andy Shalal probably already knows about you. He will know, because I'll send this to him. I'd like for him to see it.
Thank you so much, Todd.
And there's going to be a lot of other opportunities, I'm sure, just in DC alone. So congratulations.
We're really excited to be here in the city. Thank you all for being so warm. The response we've gotten here has been amazing.
Great.
So we're really hopeful about how well we'll do in the city, and we're grateful for the support. Thank you for seeking us out and for wanting to tell our story. You totally came right to us and asked to do an interview. So
you guys are exceptional. You really have. You're a great job. And thanks again. And thanks to all your teammates working together on this. And really appreciate that. All right. See you soon.
Cheers, Todd.